So let me tell you something that you might not know. Manifestation can be a trap. And that is not to say that you can't earn a lot of money or you can't bring forth things into your life that you want to achieve. What that does say is it can kind of make you think that it is a straight path to get to that. You ask for something, you manifest it, you say your affirmations, and it appears. All right, let's say it does. Then what? How do you keep it? How do you make this money, make this team, build this business, and keep your sanity as well as your profit? Today, we're going to talk about more money, more confidence, and the play in your brain that this does that isn't necessarily true. And it starts with your mindset. Excited to dig in? Okay, so when you first start, you can think that anything could sink your business. And it's not just when you first start, but it's especially when you first start. Throughout your entrepreneurship journey, your reputation is going to be everything. It is important. Everything from referrals to networks to opportunities are really built on how you show up. The problem is we think that that is directly correlated with money. The people that we follow, that we think have big followings, we assume that they are financially successful, right? When you see somebody out in a certain car or carrying a certain bag, it can be easy to think, oh, that's wealth. And I could achieve these same things if I could just make more money. But the thing is, more money doesn't automatically lead to more confidence. The more you make, the more hurdles you're going to jump into, the more changes you're going to have to make. I said in an earlier episode, the things that you do now, what got you here, may not get you to that next level. Those systems that worked when you had 10 clients will break when you have 100. Those team members that you had when you first started may or may not be the right butts and the right seats as you progress in your journey. And it can be easy to think if I just had more money to throw at it, it would be better. But more money, more problems, right? Like it leads to more complications, often more costs. And so sometimes clients, entrepreneurs, small business owners realize that in their quest to make more, they are spending more. That means you're not keeping none of it. And here's the thing about math. Profit is revenue minus expenses. So if you make $100,000 and you spend $50,000, you got a $50,000 profit. This is the same as if you make $1,000,000 and you spend $950,000. So really, what's your goal? What are you trying to get to? And what does this have to do with accounting? We shoot for goals that are bigger than our minds can imagine. Like 80%, I think I read, of small businesses never hit six figures. Do you know how wild that is? How many small businesses out here are never going to hit that 100K mark? That is not a shame thing. I don't care if you ever make 100K if that ain't where you're trying to get to anyway. But what I'm saying is, especially for our clients, the people that we work with who are beyond that six figure mark, who are hitting the mid, high six figures, seven figures or more, it's not enough just to hit the number if you don't keep none of that money. If at the end of the day, you're only looking at the top line, you may easily miss that, like, you have a loss, that you're not making enough to cover expenses. And what you think is that you just need to make more because that's what brings your confidence up, right? That's what tells you that you're doing a good job. That's not necessarily true. What you need is analysis of your business. What am I talking about? Well, you've heard me talk about the fact that your back end, your systems, your operations, and your supporters, your lawyer, your accountant, your graphic designer, all of those people are really what stands your business up. You are the face, you are the one that came up with this idea, and you are kind of bulldozing down to make sure that this gets into the world. But all of this support staff, all of these service providers are what allow you to be able to live that dream out loud, right? If those foundational pieces are not in place or are set up improperly, it can be really hard to get to that next level with more bumps than we would automatically be entitled to, right? The other thing about it is more money doesn't protect your reputation. If you're making a ton of money, but you're not paying people, right? If you're not providing the service that you promise people because you have a great advertising or funnel, or you've got people in, but you aren't really taking care of them, are you running the business that you want to? We all know it's some scammers out there. It's plenty of people out there that can make the money. But do you have the integrity? That's where your confidence comes from. Am I serving and supporting in the ways that I say that I will? And are my financials reflecting that? Am I taking care of my team? Am I taking care of myself? Am I making sure that the business is as healthy as it possibly can be? It doesn't necessarily just have to run on me, but also isn't in a grab mode to try to get as much as possible. Think about that for a second. Think about when you are considering making more money, which let me be clear, I'm about us making money. As a Black woman in this country, I really don't have a choice but to reflect on the fact that money gives us access to power, institutions, and decisions that we wouldn't otherwise have. What I'm saying is just pursuing the money can't be enough. There's so many other layers to it. This onion of finances is built from work, it's built from rest, it's built from investments in both people and capital instruments, right? And so we can't just think about this hand over fist trying to grab money without thinking about the impact that we're making on ourselves, on our communities, and on our teams. So, yeah, we want to make more money. We want to afford the lives that we're looking towards, and we want to be wealthy in whatever ways that that looks like for us. What I don't want you to confuse that with is your worth or your confidence or whether you're doing a good job, right? Like you can be doing excellent and not making as much as you want to. You can be doing some scam stuff and getting all kind of money. They need to be aligned. And so that's my first thing. It's not automatically that more confidence comes with more money, because what you realize is more people are looking at you. You're on a higher peak, so it's farther to fall. There may be ways in which you are not necessarily attacked, but there's just more eyes on you to see what you're doing. And can you stand in front of that as you make more? The other thing about this is, and I know this sounds like a duh statement, you're the boss. Like you can make whatever business you want to. If you are working in a business that you built that you hate, newsflash, you got the power to change that. You can do something else. You can make the business look different. And sometimes that means you got to look at money differently, because building phases can be expensive. And when you look at your profit, you might start thinking like, oh, those margins are getting smaller, but I'm investing in something that builds a business that I actually do want to work for. We have seen examples of people who have been able to pivot into new and glorious businesses for themselves. I think a lot about Nicole Kane and her ability to be able to say, I'm going to do this. Nope, I changed my mind. I'm going to do this. Nope, I am actually going to invest in this other kind of business. And what I imagine and what I've seen her talk about is like, but that's not easy. Just because you did it over here doesn't mean that that's automatically going to be transferable to do something else. And there are some hiccups that come with that. So what I'm saying is this: don't automatically let the pursuit of money get in the way of the business that you actually want to be running. What gets you to, what thousandaires have to deal with is not the same as what millionaires have to deal with. And you need to have a heads up on what you're walking into, what that will look like and feel like when you get there. Is it sustainable? I'm not saying that anybody can make $1 million, but I'm saying it takes a lot more to keep it than it does to make it. Can you make it year after year after year? Are you happy doing it? Again, is your team happy doing it? Are the people that work with you supportive and caring and holding you down on this journey? Like, just know that the money itself isn't the goal. The decisions, the feelings, the power on the other side, absolutely. But it's a journey to get there. You don't just start there. And if that is the case, how can you make this different? So here's what I want you to ask yourself. What do you want and why? When you're thinking about building your business, when you're thinking about growing it, when you're thinking about scaling to new heights in this revenue, and we keep in mind that what got you here could be a potential liability on this next level, what are you trying to get to? Because that's going to be the baseline for building a business that can not only be profitable, but actually be something that you want to chase, that can actually be something that you want to support and build and grow and nurture, because it's going after your why. Think about the money, yes, but don't just think about the money because it's not automatically going to lead to confidence. It can lead to some downfalls, some hard times, and some bumpy roads on your way to get there. It can lead to some not profitable times, stretches, as you're investing to build something better. And so, as you're thinking about that, as you're considering where do you want this business to end up, keep in mind that growth isn't the only way to get there. You've got a lot of vehicles that'll take you in the direction that you're going. You just need to figure out when you're going to be willing to stop. Thank you so much for joining us today. I can't wait to talk to you next week.